Hey everyone, how's it going, and welcome back to another video. It's been quite a chilled week in the office. I've been sort of recovering from my first events of the year that I did last weekend, and being around so many creatives again gave me a lot of inspiration, and I decided to start working this week on a new mini comic, one that I've not done in a while, and it gives me a nice break from the bigger projects that I'm working on. So this is a comic called Paradox, and it's called Paradox because it's a comic about me writing comics. So it's just a fun little mini story, a little bit daft if you like, same as all the other 8-page mini comics that I've done. They fold up to about A7, I think it is, in size. So yeah, I thought I'd just show you me sort of making this a nice chilled studio vlog of me working on this mini comic. Now I'm drawing it out on paper first, and then I go on later to do the digital version, and then that's where I can get it printed and make the proper copies to sell at events and on the website. So I'm drawing this initially on A4 paper. When it comes to printing it and folding the comic as well, that is also on A4. So doing this on A4 paper, lining it with pencil, and then once I've drawn it out, I'm using a Sharpie to do the outlines and the text as well. So when you draw it out on paper, I won't explain it too much because I have got a separate video on how you can make these comics that you can go back and watch, but I'm drawing this out as it would read rather than how it would be printed to fold. What I mean by that is that all 8 panels of the comic are facing upright, and you can read it from this A4 sheet like a normal comic. So the idea with doing these originals first is that, one, I can get the idea down on paper, and then on my iPad I can then create the proper version and make any edits and little detail changes that I need to do. And 2, I also sell these as original prints. So at the time of recording this print is available if you would like to buy it. But yeah, you'll see later on in the video when I come to do the digital version, some of the pages are flipped upside down and it doesn't look like it's in the right order, but that's because of how it needs to be when it comes to printing and folding it to make the actual comic. So, like I say, drawing it out on pencil first, and then with the outline I'm using a Sharpie twin tip, and that is a fine and ultra fine tip. So the fine, you'll see, is the thicker borders and the actual drawing of the panels that I'm doing, and then the ultra fine tip is used for the text, just because it is quite a small space that I'm working in, and if I was to use the fine tip for the text, it would be quite hard to read and it just wouldn't look good and translate well. So that's the reason why it's being done that way. And with the colouring on the A5 originals that I do, I don't tend to colour, but these bigger ones I do. So I'm using the Boldmere art markers. If anyone's interested in what pens I use, I have realised that when I tend to do these originals first and the comics, they are quite scruffy, but I actually like that. I think it gives it a bit of character and it looks pretty cool. And from the events that I did last week, I had some really good feedback on it, and obviously when it comes to the digital side of things, I want it to, you know, look a bit nicer and neaten everything up and put in the details that need to be there. But when it comes to the original, because it is just sort of the first draft, if you like, I actually sort of really like how it comes out. And then with the original drafts that you can see here, on the reverse, what I like to do is just sign each one and give a little bit of information, if you like, about what it is that you're purchasing and what was used to essentially create it. So obviously on the back of this one I've got Paradox, which is the name of what I've decided to call this comic, what was used drawing it, so pencil, Sharpies and the markers, hand signing it, and then the date that it was drawn as well, just to give it a little bit of character and backstory. So as and when a customer does buy it, it's just something nice and they can see sort of like when it was done and how it was done, rather than just buying a print. So now that that's done, I go on to do the digital version. Now, I'm not going to show you the time lapse of this. Here is the finished digital piece, and like I say, it doesn't look like it makes sense when it's like this. Some of the pages are upside down, it doesn't look in order, but as I'll show you now, and if you go back and watch my how-to video on this, when it comes to the actual folding process, it all does eventually make sense and produce a mini comic. So this is the final draft of Paradox. Like I say, it's pretty much the same as how it is in the original version on that A4 sheet that we've just drawn, but with a few extra details, a bit of shading, and generally just making it look a little bit nicer and neater. And like I say, at the time of recording this, both the comic and the original A4 sheet are available for sale. I've still got events coming up that I'm going to be bringing these to, so if you are in the Leeds or Yorkshire area, you can come out and see me and purchase one of these if you like the look of it. And they will be available on the website as well, and all those links will be in the description below. If you would like to know what events I'm doing, then you can follow me on Instagram at 7bellsco, and there is now a post of all the events that I've got confirmed and booked for this year. And if you would like to know about these things before anybody else, then the best thing you can do is join our cult on Patreon. We have tiers starting from just £1 a month, and each tier does also offer a 7-day free trial, so you can join us for a week, catch up on the last year and a half's worth of content, just to see what it's all about without actually giving us a penny. And if you decide it's not for you, then you can cancel at no extra charge. But obviously, as a self-employed artist, Patreon is the best way for us to earn a stable income, and anyone who joins we really do appreciate. Again, the link for that will be in the description below. I hope you all enjoyed this video very much and you like this new fun mini comic that I've just done aside from my bigger projects. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for videos like this every Sunday, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks guys.